Hello, fellow Nigerians and those lovers of righteousness, lovers of justice, lovers of peace across the nation and around the world. It has been a few days since Friday, the 4th of May 2025, till date. We haven't heard any concrete news, and we haven't heard something very cogent, explicit, and reasonable from those who have held up very dark man hostage at the Efcc custody in Abuja. It's been days, and we are hearing news, conflicting news from every angle of different people who are adding up and subtracting. So, no very reasonable words have come forth other than false claims and counterclaims about what he didn't do and what he did, and the reason why very dark man was held in custody. First of all, they came up with some flimsy excuses as to why they have to keep him. That people came up with several petitions against this man, and that was why they felt that he is a risk to public whatever, and that perhaps they want to coil and curtail his excesses and give justice to those he has accused or whatever. And that is why they are keeping to question him. But all to no avail. All those were just fallacies. They came up again with other flimsy excuses that, well, they cannot release him right now because they are still trying to do some investigation concerning his case, and they have the right to pick any Nigerian anywhere, any day, as they deem fit, because they have the power to do so. But we are just telling the Efcc that they are just mistaken. They are mistaken in the sense that they are dealing with Nigerians, not only very dark man. They are dealing with a new generation. The Gen Z generation, they're not going to take it easy with these people who are acting out of emotions, out of sentiments, and out of premonitions and every other thing that they have gathered as claims for arresting very dark man. Right now, there is a twist as we hear that there are powers that are behind this whole orchestrated arrest of very dark man. And it is not a news. It is not surprising because we all saw it coming. And a few days ago, even before this thing happened, I did make a video, to this effect that it will be a very big excuse, a risk, and it will be a big mistake on the part of the government to even think of picking up very dark man, because we saw it coming. Yes, there is every glaring evidence that why this young man is still kept in the Efcc custody, it is because of the power that be. And the power that be want to call and curtail the excesses of this man, try to break his will, and try to push him to a very stick corner, so he cannot be able to perhaps do activism with regards to speaking out and calling those in power that are misusing their rights, misusing their authority, as it were. So these are some of the news coming up that people are behind it. Of course, before the issue of his mother's account being deducted came up, he spoke very outrightly and calling the power that be out for the unjust treatment of the NAS president, who was beaten up heavily by the security apparatus apparatus for some reasons, and we were obviously made to understand that it was because of certain coercion. They wanted to coerce and then wanted to make sure that the next president succumb to certain pressure, of which the man said no, he couldn't do that, and they beat him up and all of that. And a very dark man picked up that case and brought it to the open. Yes, that is one evidence that is in the air flying, or perhaps for calling out that evil that had been done to that young man, the next president. That perhaps is one of the reasons this trap was set before him. Otherwise, the EFCC knew quite well that Vedakman has no reason to be picked up, because he has always, attacked EFCC because of their double standard and their ways. There's no news, there's no new thing about EFCC doing whatnot, because they have always been standing double standard. They have been playing double standard game for arresting those who have not, those who are poor. And when it comes to those who are big name governors and the bourgeois, they keep mute, and those who are carted away with billions of dollars, they kept mute, and those who have nothing to do with corruption, or perhaps struggling to have their daily bread, maybe fell into one little thing or the other, they get them picked up and they are punished for whatever crime they allege them to have committed. It means they have been playing double standard, of which Martin Vincent has always kept hammering upon that the EFCC have been playing a double standard game. So with all of this evidence that has been flying around about some of those names he has called up, of course, we heard of the case of the Senate president who had done so much as scandalous things, and then flew to Rome and all of that. He called out those names. Martins has been in the forefront of calling out names in the very open to ensure that powers that be are brought to the consciousness of their error, so they can think straight, because most of our leaders are no longer thinking straight. They're no longer doing things that are right. People are dying left, right, and center. No justice is being given to those who are oppressed. So Martins are being the forefront of heralding and speaking the truth to power. And all of these conspiracy have been put together and have been cooked to be able to get this young man kept and perhaps coerced and toughened, so he couldn't be able to perhaps speak up again. That is the ultimate target of these so-called powers, this government agency of which EFCC is at the forefront. Yes, there are so many alleged things that are going on, and people they are speaking up. They are coming up with so many theories, of course, so many conspiracy theories that have been hashed in high places to ensure that this young man is kept in custody beyond the admitted or the necessary days or acceptable time period that anyone should stay in custody. So, whatever the case may be, we know that ultimately, Vedakman will be released from the EFCC's custody. And what they have done so far is to empower him. What they have done so far is to give him more wings to fly. What they have done so far is to induce in him the confidence to be able to speak up and do more to fight for the Nigerians and for the ordinary people. We are just going to encourage the masses, the Rate and all the Gen Z generation and those within his age bracket that are fighting so hard to ensure that he is released and justice is done. We are encouraging everyone and all Nigerians alike to stand prayerful, to stand very supportive, and ensure that we all put ourselves in his shoes, because this young man has been given and sent by God to us to help us bridge the gap between the generation that are weak and the new generation that are vibrant. So we are at a crossroad, as it were, but we are going to get out of this quagmire. We're going to get out of this very space that we are in, and Nigeria is going to be better off. Very dark man is going to come forth again, and it will be truly the conscience of the nation, having been tested, and he will be trusted by the grace of God, because you can't keep the dream down. Whatever God has said will happen. Nobody, no man can be able to bring it down. I want to encourage all Nigerians, keep praying for very dark man. Very soon, good news will come, and everyone will rejoice. Very dark man will become better for it, will become greater for it, and it will become more popular for it. His voice will be more amplified, and Nigeria is going to head in the right direction. God bless you, and let's do it again by taking on prayerfully, praying for very dark man, and we're going to be a great people again. Don't get despair. God is with us. Amen.